What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Kinstretch class brought to you by Stretch Effect. My name is Coach Luke, and I'll be taking you through today's 30-minute Level 2 hip external rotation Kinstretch class. So, internal and external rotation are really the prerequisite motions of the hip and of the shoulder, our ball and socket joints, really. So, when we look at true, healthy, functioning ball and socket joints, clean internal rotation, in this case of the shoulder, is the first thing we look at, and then external rotation is the second thing we look at. So, in the case of the hip, you can look at it kind of from this perspective where internal rotation, the foot's going out but the femur is rotating in. External rotation, foot's going in but femur is rotating out. So we're really going to be looking at external rotation today, really going through our cars, our capsule cars, and then getting into our way of progressing that motion and getting better control of that motion with our pills and rails and our holds and our lift-offs and all those good things. So let's get right into it. So if you have a block, you can throw it right on your head. If you don't, you can just use that as your pillow. Use your arm as your pillow. I'm just going to go right into 2 hip cars. So use that there. If you don't have the block, use your arm. We're going to get right into it. Arms out front for stability. Nice and tight through the core, so the ribs down, bottom leg pressing into the floor. I'm going to pull up into flexion, abduction, internal rotation, come around, back through. We'll extend. We'll rotate over the top. Come right back down and switch. Go up, internally rotate, rotate around, come through, extend that hip, not the spine, come over the top, and back through to my start position. That's 2, let's go and switch sides. On the left side, we'll go 2 hip cars for the right hip, and then we'll get into our capsule cars. So arms up front, you can grab here, here, here. If you have tennis balls to get another block, you can hold the block. Whatever allows you to get more tension, create the upper body tension so you can get full body stability, so you can get the most out of those hip cars. Drive this leg into the floor while this one rotates out. Internal rotation, come around, swing through and reverse directions. I extended that hip, come out over the top, all the way over, and through. One more here. Flexion, abduction, internal rotation as we extend and swing through the start. And just reverse that one more time. We're going, so think hip extension, so heel goes back towards the wall, ribs stay down, nothing moves through my torso. Come out over the top, all the way over, and back down to the start. Let's get into our capsule cars. So I'm going to do them facing you so you can see the direction I'm going in here. So I'll have one leg straight, one leg at 90. I'm just going to really focus, we're going to do external and internal, but really focusing on the external rotation. I want you to feel that squeeze on the inside of your leg. So from here, stay flat, back is flat, arms at the sides. Let's externally rotate, so foot rotates towards the opposite shoulder. Internal rotation, foot rotates out towards the same side shoulder. Let's go 5 reps there. Really feel this external rotation squeeze on the inside of the thigh. That's what we're really going to be focusing on today, really looking at it, really paying attention to. Externally rotate. Internally rotate. It's 3. 2 more. External rotation. Inside step squeeze. Internal rotation. Outer hip squeeze. We got 1 more here. External. Hold that left heel to right shoulder. Internal, the left heel to left shoulder. Back down and switch. 90-degree bend of the knee. Externally rotate, feel that inner thigh as it pulls that foot across the body. Internal rotation, foot rotates out, feel that outer hip. Like that. 2. 4 more here, this is 2. And out, internal rotation, 3 or 2. External rotation, internal rotation, 2 more, external. Make sure this knee stays nice and still. If you want to hold that leg in place, you can, just to make sure you get the most out of the hip rotating. So it's that femur rotating. And then 1 more here, internal rotation, squeeze it, come back down. From there, let's get right into our external rotation pills rails. I'm gonna sit in my 90-90 position. So I got 90-degree bend on the front knee, 90-degree bend on the back knee. We're working this right side hip here, right? So I'm externally rotated in this position here. I'm gonna get the deepest stretch, not by just folding down, right? I wanna think nice tall chest. I wanna try to bow the stretch, it's called, right? So my chest goes up. I got a strain from my belly button, pull me forward and up. I have a strain in my tailbone, pull my tailbone back and up. So instead of just going in this direction, I get this kind of cross tension here. So because I can't move my femur in this position, the only way to create more tension on the hip capsule is to move my pelvis. So the more that I can anteriorly tilt the pelvis, the more stretch I can get in that right hip capsule. And we're just gonna find the deepest stretch possible. This is a good time, so you can kind of, it's called scanning to find the stretch, right? So a lot of times people will just stretch right over the knee is a good stretch. Sometimes you may need to shift a little bit more to the left, shift a little bit more to the right. All about finding the best stretch for you in the best possible position to create the most change, right? So find where it's the tightest, find where it feels most restricted, and then stay in that position. And we're just gonna hang out here and breathe. While we do so, we'll go over our Pails and Rails protocol. So the Pails, we're grabbing foot and ankle into the floor. We're gonna start at 10%, really building it up over the first 10 seconds. So each second, we're building up another 10%, right? So 1% is 20, 2% is, or sorry, 1% is 10, 2% is 20, 3%, or 3 seconds is 30%. So all the way up to 100, okay? So that'll be the first 10 seconds. And then we're gonna hold max effort, 100% effort, drive it down for another 10. From there, we quickly switch directions. Knee drives down, foot tries to get light. So imagine you got a scale under that foot, you're trying to get light in that scale. Going for 15-second rails contraction, driving that knee, simultaneously pulling yourself deeper into that stretch position, okay? Because we got a lot of different things to introduce today, we're just gonna go one set of Pails and Rails here on the side, and we'll get right into some passive range holds, okay? So find that deepest stretch, we'll hang out here for another couple breaths. So whenever we're doing our passive stretch, think 4 to 5 count belly breath on the inhale, and then about an 8 to 10 count exhale using that belly, right? Really emphasizing the diaphragmatic breath so you can relax as much as possible. The more your body can relax, the deeper into that stretch you're gonna be able to get. Okay, so here we go. Let's take one more deep breath. We're gonna create that tension, right? So don't hold it in the whole time, but take a breath in, pack the air down into that lower abdomen, get nice and tight through the upper body, get the deepest stretch possible, and then slowly start pressing foot and ankle into the floor. We're at 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. Check that tension throughout the whole body. 70, 80, 90, and 100% drive down for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, drive, 2, 1, and rails. Crush that knee to the floor, try to lift that foot, keep the chest tall, keep lifting that tailbone, keep trying to pull yourself deeper into the stretch, feel that inside thigh, really lighten up here. Let's go for another 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax deeper into that stretch there. So you felt on that rails contraction, that inner thigh kind of lighten up, really kind of coming alive there, right? So that's what we were talking about with the capsule cars. As we rotate that foot across the body, the right heel to the left shoulder, you should have felt that inner thigh really lighten up. So that's what we're really going to be accentuating, not only in our passive range holds and lift offs, but as we get into our stretching and eccentric work today. So kind of get a feel for that, remember that feeling, and we're going to be really going after it. So stay on that same side hip, but now we're going to drop down to a side lying 90. So I want to stay on my right side. Top leg will go straight, bottom leg will come to 90 in this position. If this is really easy for you, you can definitely stay in a 90-90 side line here. It can be a little bit more challenging. This is, one of the first times doing this in particular class, or especially 90-90 external rotation work. You can stay top leg straight, just make sure the body stays straight. Kind of doing a side plank, but I don't think elbow, hip, knee, shin, foot, everything's lined up in a nice straight line. From there, we're gonna work what's called passive range holds. So we're gonna do 3 10-second holds here. So the knee will drive into the floor. I'm gonna relax my body first. We'll go up into as much external rotation as I can, and then I will slowly release my foot, brace my body, and hold. We're gonna hold that 10 seconds, slowly fill back down. We're gonna go 3 rounds of that, and then we'll get right into some passive range lift-offs using that same feeling, the same tissue that we've been working on. So from here, relax, pull up, get as much stretch as you can there. Brace the torso, brace the core, Drive this left foot into the floor and release and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. If that was too easy for you, you can definitely go to this 90-degree position on the back leg as well. It's going to make things a little bit more challenging. So we're here, and release and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. So you see my foot wasn't quite as high on that one, right? So I'm going to go back to this one just for the sake of coaching. Go back here. This leg stays at 90. Drive this knee, drive this leg into the floor. We got one more rep here. Get tight. Take a breath in. Brace and release and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Right here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Very nice. Those 3 10-second passive range holds. Now we're going to go right into what's called a lift off. So stay at 90. Now we're just going to actively rotate straight up, straight back down. Okay, we're going to go 10 reps here. Body's tight. If you want to go here, you can do that as well. If you want to take a block, you can definitely squeeze it from the arm. Anything that helps you create more tension is always going to be a good thing for us, because the more tension we create in the body, the more output we're going to get from this hip. Okay, so from here, 10 reps here. So solidify the core, solidify the torso. If you want to throw a block under the rib cage, that's another good way to make things a little more challenging, because now this is easier, this is more challenging. So from here, grab the knee to the floor and lift. Back down. 1. We're going 10 reps and lift. 2. Lift. 3. Lift. 4. Lift. 5. Lift. 6. Lift. Push into that. Squeeze it. 7. Lift. 8. 2 more here. Lift. 9. Last one. Drive the knee to the floor and lift. And 10. Whenever we're doing anything like lift offs, capsule cars, anything like that, really focus on accentuate pressing into where it feels challenging, right? So for this, in this case, from here is pretty easy, right? But when I get to here, that's where it's challenging. So the more time you can spend at those challenging ranges, the stronger you're going to get, the more comfortable you'll get, and the quicker you'll be able to advance, right? From here, let's go back to our 90-90 position. I'm going to stay in this good stretch position here. Now we're going to do what's called kinetic stretching, right? So really when I was talking about capsule cars, feeling that inner thigh start working, we should have a good kind of understanding of that now after going through some hold lift offs. But if you want, you can kind of just do like one, like just kind of get your good position, do one lift off, just to feel the inner thigh, kind of remind yourself of that feeling. We're going to be doing that same contraction to pull us deeper into that stretch. But we're going to imagine that someone glued my shin, knee, and foot to the floor. So I'm trying to lift, I'm trying to get that lift using this contraction, but because I can't lift up, I'm going to be taking my body towards that leg. And then when I hit the bottom of that stretch, before I want to flex at my lumbar spine, I'm going to switch directions, drive this into the floor, and use this to press me out of it, right? So the leg driving down is what pushes me out of it in that position there. So we're going to do 5 kinetic stretches there. So we're going to go 5 seconds down, 5 seconds back up, and we'll give us some eccentric work. So this is a lot of work on this hip here. So give us probably one round of everything. So use those arms for stability. If you're very mobile, you can definitely go kind of hands together. This will be a little bit more challenging. This will be more challenging, and then you can definitely progress to that as you go. But I would say first thing, make sure you're stable, make sure you get a good contraction, especially if you've never done this. Use your hands on the floor for stability, and then you can even go here, so hands will be most stable, and then you can go up on like knuckles, even one finger, something like that. But for now, just take a breath in. Right, so imagine this is glued, right, but I'm getting this contraction. So contract inner thigh stuff, and then we're gonna go down for 5. Keep a nice tall chest. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now switch directions, foot, ankle, shin, drives down to the floor, drives me out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. Okay, tract, pulling up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And reverse, drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. as we go down, right? Remember, we're not flexing the lumbar spine, trying to keep a nice tall chest. Imagine that belly button getting up over that shin and that knee, okay? 3 more here. So contract inner thigh, everything's trying to pull up. Now that pulls me down into it. Let's go 3, 2, 1. You're at your basement. Now reverse directions, press down on the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up. Let's go 2 more. Let's go 2 more here. Inner thigh stuff contracting, drive up. And now we're getting deeper in that stretch. Keep going, keep going, keep going. 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one here is making the best one yet. Inner thigh stuff working, all this stuff trying to pull up. Glue to the floor, so that pulls me down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want to take your hands off the floor, bring them to the chest. Drive down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you see how instantly that makes it a little bit more challenging. That's the first time you've done that. You can shake that out and kind of give that leg a little break. Okay, we got one more thing for this right hip, and then we'll do all the same stuff on that left hip. Remember, it's called eccentrics. So in the span of our complexity, this is one that tends to be a little bit more complex, which is why we saved it for our level 2 external rotation class, because the eccentrics, if you've never done this stuff before, can be pretty brutal, right? Because the eccentrics with, just within normal training, right, that's where the most amount of what's called muscle damage can occur. So it's not a bad thing. It's not true damage, right? But it is micro tears, micro trauma to the muscles. So this is something that you want to do only after you have some experience with this style of training. So we look at eccentric to normal training, right? The muscle's contracting while it's being stretched. So it's the same thing we're going to do. So when we thought as we went down for the kinetic stretching, we were trying to pull up, right? Now we're going to contract down into the floor and take ourselves deeper. So the muscle's externally rotating, and then we're actively pulling ourselves deeper into that stretch position. So you'll be driving down here, contracting, slowly lowering yourself again for 5 seconds. Hit the bottom, and instead of driving back up, you're just gonna have hands on the floor, and then you're just gonna press yourself out of it using your hands, using your upper body. So we're only doing the lowering portion of this movement here, so we'll get 5 reps, and then we'll switch directions, and we'll do everything on the left hip. So let's get here, nice tall chest, hands for stability, start driving foot, ankle, shin, knee into the floor, and then slowly start contract. So then slowly start lowering down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drive out with those hands. That's 1. Every rep, as you get more experience with this, you can start pressing down a little bit harder, but don't lose that contraction, right? Keep pressing down through the whole extent of your lowering here, okay? So start pressing into the floor, everything driving down, and for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hands press out, 2, press down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back out, 3, 2 more. Start driving down, everything presses into the floor, big, nice, tall chest, get out over that shin, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Get the most stretch on the hip, right? We want to still continue to try to lift that tailbone, get as much tension on that hip capsule as possible. Last one here, ready. Get nice and tall, follow that stretch, start driving down into the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hands drive up and out and relax. That was right hip, heels rails. That was pass range holds, pass range lift offs, neck stretching, and eccentrics. So it's one round of everything, right? So you don't have to always do it in that same sequence, although that is the order that we'd like you to do it. But certain classes you can do, certain sessions you can just do pass range holds and lift offs. You don't have to do them always just like that one set, right? Eventually, as you get more experience, you can add in maybe multiple rounds. But that is a lot to do on one hip, so bear in mind there's a progression, right? So from there, we're just going to switch directions, and then we'll do everything on the left hip, and then we'll call it a day. So from here, we're in this position here, kind of in the stretch, not all the way deep in that stretch. We're here. We're just going to transition to the other side. So think big toe goes down on the back foot, heel lifts up. I'm going to lift this knee as much as I can. Once I can't get any more there, I'm going to rotate my torso towards this front heel. I'll be able to get a little bit more from there. Once I can't get any more, I'm going to continue to drive this knee into the floor. Now I just continue to open up the chest. Knee continue to drive open. Once I can't get any more on this knee, just back knee can start to come along for the ride. And then I just slowly transition to the other side. And now I'm in 90-90 on the other hip. So from here, let's get right into our tails and rails. So in my left hip, so I'm just going to continue just to focus on breathing and relaxing because we just did a number on this hip, right? So let's just give this left hip time, stretch, to relax, get deeper into that range, right? Because we're all about training at the end range, right? So you can train mid ranges, but we tend to have a lot more experience there than we do on the end range. So as you go through this, really focus on your breathing, really try to relax and sink down in the stretch as much as you can. Because the deeper that end range you get, the better in this case, right? So I just want to take a nice tall chest, and again, right hip, left hip may be different between sides, right? So my left hip, I may need to shift more towards my shin, maybe shift more towards the outside, or I can go right over that leg, but it's all about what feels the best for me and what I need, right? So I'm trying to lift this tailbone, trying to lift this chest, trying to bow that stretch, it's called, right? So find the best stretch you can possibly get on that hip. Everything nice and tight. Let's go one set of tails and rails here, okay? So let's take a breath in. Brace, and start driving foot and ankle into the floor, building up 1 second at a time. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, and 100% effort for 10. 9, drop down, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Crush that knee to the floor, try to lift that foot, stay tall in that chest, keep lifting that tailbone, keep pulling yourself deeper into that stretch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Just hang out in that stretch for a second. Again, maybe just shift around. You want to pause the video, you want to go multiple rounds, tails and rails here, that's by all means be my guest. For today, we're going to do 1 round, and then we'll get right into, lift up, so we'll get right into some fast range holds. So from here, I'm in that kind of side plank position. Bottom knee is 90, top leg is straight. If you want to go 90 on the back knee, you definitely can. So from here, we're going to just relax. So get as much into external rotation as possible. Brace the core, drive the knee to the floor, and release and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax for the sake of symmetry on the other hip. I did second rep at 90. So I'm going to second rep at 90 here. Relax. Let yourself get as high up in that range as possible. You can already tell my left one is not quite as good. And release and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go back to straight like I did on the other side. Last one here, knee drives down. Stay at 90 here. We don't want it pulling up right there. We don't want it coming up this way or this way. As close to 90 as possible. From there, last one. So get there, brace, drive the knee to the floor, and release and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly parachute down. We'll get right into 10 passive range liftoffs here. So everything is the same. Top knee drives down, body stays tight. You want to take a block under that rib cage, remind you to stay tight like a side plank. Knee goes into the floor and lift, back down, and lift, back down. Just 90, lift, 3, lift, 4, lift, 5, lift, 6, 4 more, lift, 7, lift, 8, last 2, lift, 9, last one here, and crush down that knee and lift, 10, walk off the side, get back to our 90-90. We'll get into our kinetic stretching. So just as a quick review, imagine we got glue under this leg. This leg will not move off the ground, but this contraction will pull me deeper into that stretch position. Go for 5 seconds down. I'll hit the bottom of my stretch. Switch directions. Knee drives down. Shin drives down. Foot drives down. Pushes me out of that position there. 5 reps there. Give it a little break. We'll go 5 eccentrics. Okay. Take a breath in. Over that stretch. Imagine you got the glue under the leg. Contract inner thigh and go down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is 1. And lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. Contract. Like you're trying to lift that leg. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. Press. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. And contract. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The last one here. Get nice and tall above that stretch. Big chest. Track the inner thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And out of that there. If you want to come out of that, just going right from the connect, stretching right to the eccentrics can be pretty brutal on the hip. Give it a little shake out, give it a little rest. We got 5 eccentrics here, and we're about done. So 5 eccentrics, we'll go 2 hip cars on each side, and we're done. So let's go nice and tall, above that stretch. Now we're switching directions. Knee, foot, shin, drive down as I now pull myself deeper into that stretch. And then hit the bottom, relax, use your hands, press it back, okay? So think foot, everything drives down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, press out. 1. Everything drives down. Keep a nice tall chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up using those hands. Just relax, use that hand. In my case, you can see my left hand is the one using it there. Okay, we got 3 more. Drive down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press out. 2 or 3, sorry, 2 more. Here we go. Drive down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See that I still got this bow in that position there. Trying to keep that deepest amount of stretch I possibly can. And that comes from lifting that tailbone. Last one here. Everything drives down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hand drives out. And relax. We just worked that left hip, so let's finish right hip cars first. So left hip cars, and we're done. So from here, hands together. Knees about 45 degrees. Let's just go 2 hip cars for the right hip. Ribs down. Core stays engaged. 1. 1 more here. Reverse. Over the top. And switch. Together. So we just work that left hip. These cars should be nice, open. I mean, right hip especially too, but definitely just work this left one. So recently, those cars should be nice and lubricated, nice and buttery. And those hips, let's finish that rep. And relax. Whew, so that was level 2 external rotation kinesiology class for the hip. So thank you for joining me in today's class. That was a good one. So like we said in the beginning of the class, ER, the IR are really what creates the foundation for healthy hip motion. So go to the IR, watch those videos, take that class, both classes, take the ER classes. We do have IR and ER classes together. So the more you can improve the internal and external rotation of your hip, better hips will function, better everything else will feel. So Continue to do your cars, and thank you for joining me in today's class. I hope to see you at the next one.